this is what a lot of people don't understand. I think about anything, not just about Andrew, but about anything. He was doing YouTube for 10 years or 12 years, making videos, forever. And then 2 years ago, he became unbelievably famous. Everyone said, where's this guy from? He's been doing it and trying. He went on Big Brother, been trying to be famous forever. You know, like he's been grinding for years, not just like...
It wasn't overnight.
No, overnight, you know, like forever. He always wanted to be like famous, always. He did like reality TV show with fighting. He did Big Brother. He was always after it, you know, always trying to do something different. And where they come from is a shithole, so they had this like chip on their shoulder, you know what I mean? Then they did it. They made it. They were doing great. And I was unaware. Even when they were videoing me, they were making money then. I was unaware. And I'm very like nonchalant guy, and I'm not so like, I don't ask a lot of questions. I just, whatever, bro, good on you. I care about this thing. If you want to talk about this thing, well, I'm good. And we love fighting. He's still unbelievably passionate about fighting. And anyway, so I saw him about a couple of years later. He came to Marbella, where I'm based. He did something called the Cannon Run, which is like a drive. And we hung out, and he was hanging out with some like rappers and all these like money men. And I was like, what are you doing, bro? Like, who? He goes, these guys are nutters. He was telling me how crazy these people were he was driving with, and how they wouldn't care if they died, and all this sort of stuff. And he's like doing the Cannon Run, but just like hanging back because he's scared one of these guys is going to like drive into him. And they were at some pool club in Marbella. And then this was around the time where I was finishing fighting, like coming towards the end of fighting. I said to him, like, because he'd retired from kickboxing and he'd obviously done quite well and all that sort of stuff. And we had like a 2-hour, like deep, like everyone was being drunk idiots. And this is the thing about people don't understand about Andrew. Andrew can be an idiot, and he is a bit of an idiot, but most of the time he's like very, very on it, you know, serious guy. Even when he's partying, now he doesn't drink because he's Muslim, but before when he was drinking, he didn't really like, he never got wrecked. Did it a bit, but you know what I mean, like it's not really his thing. That was Tristan's thing. So he's always like pretty serious. So we were there. I wasn't really drinking. I'd just been at the gym or something and come to see him for a bit, had a few drinks, and we like sat down and had this like proper deep conversation about my life and what was going on and how I'd see what he was doing. And he just kind of like helped me see myself in a different light. We were talking about how you like limit your own brain and how you limit yourself before, and how you believe that this is a lot or this is a lot. And he kind of like opened my eyes. Didn't do a lot, just said, do this, you know. And I just did what he said, and it was you know, it was a first step or whatever you want to call it. Then he came back to Marbella a year later or 10 months later or whenever it was. We stayed in touch, but nothing crazy. Same as like, this is what I'm saying. I said about Dana, I said about Chael. So Andrew's another example. Like me and Andrew stayed in touch. We weren't like boys calling each other every day, but we just respected each other. So we speak to each other. Then he came back, and this time around he was like, I'm gonna be in Marbella for like 4 or 5 days. I want to have a good time. It's your city. You tell me where to go, blah, blah, blah. And this is when he still wasn't big, but he had money and he wanted to have a good time. And I was like, cool, I'll organize everything. I love planning things. I'm a bit of a, you know, and I'll drive you around. I'll look after you, all that sort of stuff. And you're talking about the difference and the change that I've seen in him. He's always been like very switched on, but I believe now that the most impressive thing about him is the energy that he emits and how focused and the intention that he has in every moment of every single second of every single day. He doesn't waste any time. You know, he's all about getting shit done. So I was driving him around for 3 or 4 days, 5 days, whatever it was in Marbella. I took him booked all the restaurants, booked everything. We had a great time. And every moment of every second I was with him, he was like perfect posture, talking perfectly, listening to everything, aware of everything going on, never tired, never yawned. His energy was like clean. I don't know how else to explain it. Like the vibration that he emits is like, he would just be sitting at a table and people would just come to him. Not famous, no one knew who he was, nothing going on, you know? He just had this like thing.
I'm wondering if that's like before and after when his father had passed.
So there's the thing he talks about, I can't like comment on it too much, but he talks about, and I've been thinking about it a lot recently, and he says that you never truly become a man until your dad dies. And I was like,
well, maybe that was it.
Maybe, but I don't. I think it's the repetition. I think he's very serious. He's more. I mean, he's super serious now, but back then, like he was more serious when his dad passed. But I think it's just like I was talking earlier about building up. Like intention, like you layering pressure. Remember when I was talking about fighting, you have to learn little bits, you layer your pressure. I think he just layered pressure over himself for so many years that now it got to the point where he was like, he doesn't show any signs of weakness. Like I said, would never yawn. You'll never see Andrew. Never, ever, ever. He's always switched on. He's always like, especially in public. Like, but even not in public, even back at his house, like he's just like on it constantly. And I think he's built that up. Like you can't do that. You can't go from being a loser to being like that. Everyone thinks you just turn this switch or whatever. He's like an hour of focus, then an hour and a half of focus, and then 2 hours of focus, like build it up day by day by day. But now he is 24 hours. This is what I'm trying to be like. He's 24 hours a day focused on what he needs to get done. There's no distractions, no bullshit. That's the biggest change I would say that I've seen. He's always been a serious guy. He's always been switched on, always been hyper intelligent, but it's his intention to get shit done that super impresses me. And his whole setup, the whole way his life is set up, is to give him free time to be able to do what he needs to do. When we train, he has the laptop or the phone, or like if we're boxing, in between rounds, he's on his phone working. Like he's not resting. You know what I mean? He doesn't need to rest. He's like on it. Same when we do, like you would have seen like the videos of doing shoulder press or doing bench press, laptop. Like he's always doing something. He's always hustling. And I think that's the biggest change that I've seen him in, is just the amount of energy and intention that he puts into his stuff. But he's not really changed. It's not. He's always been that guy. He's just turned the volume up and up and up. And I think with the pressure that now he's under, with everything that's been going on and everything else, I think he's just even more like the volume's turned up. You know,
so I mean, to be in that position and to stay there, you know, when you have so many different people trying to take your head off, like from every different angle, finance to social media to this to that, and you have to stay sharp in order to win. Yeah. So I think he realizes that, and he puts everything on the line, and this is more important than anything else in the world.